My name is Samuel Vartan, and I'm a fashion designer. To put it simply, I make clothing for a living. For the longest time, I couldn't really find a clear point where I actually made a decision that this was it. Everything just happened. It just fused. So coming from a film and communications background myself and being in a band at the same time, I think it was probably the last time we're going to be playing as a band, probably on tour, that I suggested, why don't we design our own, outfits for this, and we go out with a band kind of like thing. And to make a very long story short, I basically drew, because I could sing and draw. Those were my earliest talents. So I drew the entire band's outfits, and all my friends, other friends who were in the industry, said, "Come on over. We'll make patterns based on your sketches, and we'll go to the top of the line place that you want to go to get the fabrics or the leathers in this case, and we'll see what we can do for you." Long story short, after a lot of interesting events, finally the products were made. I think when we unzipped them in the room and the guys were looking at them with the girlfriends and a few onlookers, because we always had sort of like an entourage, there was like this silence in the room, and they looked at me and goes, "You didn't buy this, did you?" I go, "No, man, we made this." I mean, and then I remember that a friend of mine who was working in the industry, he says, "You really do have a skill at this. I mean, you could be an illustrator if you wanted to without even batting an eye." That's just the beginning, and I remember fighting it. I'm saying, no, it's either going to be film and music or, that combination or something. I don't need more confusion in my life as it was. So sometimes it could be the curse to be multi-talented, but I thank God every day for everything that He's given me. So I want to choose my words correctly. I'm very grateful for what I can do, because I find all these things are now coming into play right now when I do my ad campaigns, fashion shows, my visual ideas, my musical ideas. Definitely. Sometimes I take longer for the music than the clothes to do the show. What I do now is an explosion of my past. Okay, so that doesn't change. My summers, winter lines always are the same theme. Dark City, which I nicknamed my fall winter line, is all about the big cities that I learned to love and play in and visit frequently. Obviously, starting with Montreal, I've always liked the city life. Montreal was a place that if you're talented, you can always find something to do. Be active in a lot of local productions. So a lot of film work, a lot of films that I used to go see frequently had a big influence on ideas and design. Music, music is magical because it's at my heart. Music is something that when you close your eyes, it can make you travel.
Absolutely.
So they're both very key elements, definitely. And then on a strong sideline is definitely architecture and places that I frequent visit, like, you know. Well, the beginning was, I said, if I'm going to take this seriously, I got to make this I got to make a living out of it right away. I can't afford to just put everything aside and say, okay, let me try, starting from scratch, which I had to start. But the obstacle was trying to make sense out of my life, leaving something that I was pretty good at, in music or in film and communication. Let me be clear, I was very reluctant to this as a designer. I never crossed my mind as a designer, never. I love clothes, people knew that, but from that aspect, did not. So that was definitely one obstacle. My family always comes first, so I would definitely say my little boy and my wife, they have all my attention. Sometimes I always worry that I don't have it, give him enough, but my little guy has his way of reminding me that he's doing fine with me. Only one that I could think of strongly, that would be Giorgio Armani, because I like Giorgio Armani even before I was a designer.
I see.
Simply because the man's, well, his taste, it's one thing, taste can be discussed, but the man lives his creation, so he lives the lifestyle, and I believe in that. To me, that makes the most sense. And to me, that's one of the most sincerest way you can be a designer, is you actually live the lifestyle of what you're designing, rather than a lot of times when you see designers, you can't tell them apart from one collection to the next, because they're always evolving and they're always doing. You should be evolving, maybe technically, but I like to have a particular look that people can always recognize down the, however long God gives me a chance in this field. My success is dedicated to my powerhouse that I have behind me in Montreal and here immediately in Boston, my family. They can almost tell me whether it's working or it's not working. I'll listen to them, definitely.